Hello, everybody. Today we are going to talk about a subject that never comes up in the 2020s. Today we are going to talk about racism. But the good thing is that it is going to be wrapped up in an adorable little package because today we are going to discuss it in the context of Disney's 1941 animated classic film, Dumbo. I'm excited to have randomly selected an animated film for episode 10 of this little series, and it was fun to revisit Dumbo, which is one of the Disney films that I have seen less than 5 times in my life despite its status as a classic. I have seen Pinocchio and the 101 Dalmatians at least 24 times, if not more. Revisiting Dumbo was quite a treat. Dumbo, as I've already alluded to, was produced by Walt Disney and was released by RKO Radio Pictures. It's based on a children's story written by Helen Aberson Mayer and Harold Pearl, with illustrations by Helen Durney. The book was first brought to the attention of Disney in 1939 by the studio's head of merchandise licensing, Kay Kamen, who showed the prototype of something called a roll-a-book that included Dumbo. Disney immediately fell in love with the story and purchased the rights to it. I was very curious as to what the roll-a-book was, and I couldn't find any photos of the Dumbo roll-a-book in question. I was able to find a short YouTube video where a content creator created her own version of the Dumbo roll-a-book. I'll put a link to that video in my description to this video. I thought that was interesting. I won't say that it was a convenient invention idea, but it is interesting nonetheless. You can check that video out on your own time. Disney originally intended to make Dumbo as a short film, but he soon realized the potential of the story as a feature-length film. Disney also needed to recoup the financial losses of both Pinocchio and Fantasia, since World War II caused both films to fail at the box office. Dumbo also required none of the special effects that had slowed down the production and grew the budgets of Pinocchio and Fantasia and Bambi. Disney gave orders to keep the film simple and inexpensive. As a result, the character designs are simpler and the background paintings are less detailed. Now that we have a little bit of background on the development of Dumbo, what is the movie Dumbo about? Our story begins in Florida during the winter season. The circus spends the off-season in its winter grounds, while a flock of storks deliver babies to circus animals in sacks that look an awful lot like testicles. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but if it was intentional, it would make sense. Anyway, one of the elephants, named Mrs. Jumbo, does not receive her baby, and she keeps hopefully looking to the sky. Spring arrives, and the circus sets out on a new tour on the most adorable little cartoon train I've ever seen. A stork manages to catch up to the moving train and drops off the long-awaited baby elephant. The mother names the elephant Jumbo Jr. The other elephants are delighted at first, but then they all notice that the baby has completely oversized ears. And they begin to mock him. They give him the not-so-nice nickname of
Dumbo.
Mrs. Jumbo loves Jumbo Jr. anyway and shows him unconditional love by defending him against the abuse of the other elephants. From here on out, I will be referring to Jumbo Jr. as Dumbo. Due to his ears and his clumsiness, Dumbo is made into a sideshow attraction. While some rowdy boys start to bully Dumbo and his large ears, even going so far as to break into his pen, a furious Mrs. Jumbo spanks the main bully. The The circus staff runs to the commotion where they see Mrs. Jumbo throwing bales of hay at kids. They remove Dumbo from the pen, which causes Mrs. Jumbo to be further enraged. She eventually douses the circus ringmaster in a water tub. She is deemed mad and locked up in a cage, while all the other elephants blame Dumbo for the incident and continue to bully him. Timothy, a mouse that travels with the circus, scares off all the other elephants and befriends Dumbo. He decides to make Dumbo a star. While the ringmaster is sleeping one night, Timothy whispers in his ear, convincing him to try a new stunt with Dumbo as the top of a pyramid of elephants. Dumbo trips on his big ears during the show and knocks over the pyramid. This causes injury to the others and causes the big top to collapse. The elephants exile Dumbo permanently, and he is put in the Clown's Fireman Act, where he regularly jumps from a burning building prop into a vat of pie filling. He hates his new performance act. Timothy takes Dumbo to see Mrs. Jumbo one night, but all they can do is intertwine trunks, and they cannot see each other's faces. The clowns, meanwhile, decide that they are going to increase the popularity of their Fireman Act by raising the platform that Dumbo has to jump from to dangerous heights. They celebrate their new plan by drinking champagne, and a bottle falls into a water vat. Dumbo cries after visiting his mother and is overcome with an unsettling case of hiccups, so Timothy takes him to the vat for some water, only to discover that the water contains alcohol in it. They both get drunk and hallucinate pink elephants, which reminds me of another Disney classic.
They're green, they're blue, they're pink, they're white, they're round, they're square, they're a terrible sight. They tie themselves in horrible knots. They come.
The next morning, Dumbo and Timothy are discovered asleep high up in a tree by Dandy Crow and his gang of crows. I will address the crows after the synopsis. They make fun of Timothy's assertion that Dumbo flew with his ears while being drunk. They are moved by Dumbo's sad story, though. They decide to help Timothy by giving him a magic feather to help Dumbo fly. While holding the feather, Dumbo does indeed take flight a second time. He and Timothy return to the circus with plans to surprise the audience. During the Clown's Fire Act, Dumbo jumps off the platform and prepares to fly. Dumbo drops the feather. Timothy assures Dumbo that the feather was only a psychological aid. As Dumbo successfully flies about the big top, the audience is delighted. Dumbo gains fame and fortune. Timothy becomes his new manager and signs him to a Hollywood contract. Mrs. Jumbo is freed. She and Dumbo are given a private coach on the train, and the crows wave goodbye as the two travel away. It's actually a cute and heartwarming story. Considering how much happens in the film, it's hard to believe that the film is just 63 minutes long. Dumbo is not without its faults, though. I said we were going to talk about racism, and I said we were going to talk about the crows, so let's get into it. But only briefly. In Dumbo's meeting with the crows, viewers are exposed to the film's most famous example of racist stereotyping. The lead bird is named Jim Crow, which is a reference to a character from a racist minstrel show in the 1830s, which later came to stand for the segregation of black people in America. The crows also speak with exaggerated Southern stereotypical black accents and sing jazzy songs in harmony. Jim Crow was voiced by white actor Cliff Edwards, who was effectively committing vocal blackface. Aside from this more well-known example of racial stereotyping, there are other scenes in Dumbo where racist tropes were used. For example, the roustabout scene depicts faceless black people working as laborers to construct the circus Big Top, playing to the song of the roustabouts, which includes racist lyrics. This is the only time that black people are depicted in the film. Even though these images are harmful to a degree, I don't believe in censorship or editing of the media of the past to better suit today's audience. I think it's better to use the film and television programs of the past as teaching opportunities. That also being said, I don't have children, but I do have young nieces, and I think Dumbo would be a great film to expose them to. They're too much into Bluey right now. I don't think I could convince them to watch anything else at 1 and 3, but maybe in a few short years. When I was a child and I saw most Disney films for the first time, I wasn't aware of the racist tropes used. I don't know if it would be different for a child of color, but a crow was a crow, and a faceless person was a faceless person. One thing I know about being black in America is that I will never know what it's like to be black in America. Dumbo won 1 Academy Award for Best Original Score, and it was nominated for Best Original Song for the song Baby Mine. It also won an award at the Cannes Film Festival for Best Animation Design. Dumbo is available for streaming on Disney+. The Blu-ray was released by Disney Buena Vista. The version that I own is the Disney Movie Club exclusive 75th Anniversary Edition.